What happens if you stop breathing for 1 minute, the first 60 seconds? Take a deep breath. Now imagine it is the last one. Your lungs are completely full. Your chest rises. Fresh air rushes deep into your body. Then, you stop. No more breathing. No inhaling, no exhaling. Only silence. At first, nothing seems wrong. You are still standing. Your heart is still beating. Your brain is still thinking. The world around you hasn't changed. But inside your body, a countdown has already begun. Every moment of your life depends on a simple exchange. You breathe in oxygen. You breathe out carbon dioxide. It happens so automatically that most people never think about it, around 20,000 times every single day. From the moment you're born until the moment you die, your lungs never truly rest. Even while you sleep, they continue working. Every breath fuels an invisible city of nearly 37 trillion cells. Each one is constantly producing energy. Each one depends on oxygen. Without it, life cannot continue. But here's something surprising. The first problem isn't oxygen, it's carbon dioxide. Most people believe they breathe because they're running out of oxygen. In reality, your brain is usually reacting to something else. Carbon dioxide. Every cell in your body produces carbon dioxide as it creates energy. Normally, you breathe it out with every exhale. But now, you've stopped breathing. Carbon dioxide begins to accumulate inside your bloodstream. At first, only a tiny amount, almost impossible to notice. Your oxygen levels remain surprisingly stable. There is still plenty of oxygen stored inside your lungs. Your blood continues carrying it throughout your body. For a few seconds, everything appears completely normal. 10 seconds pass. Your heart continues pumping. Blood continues flowing. Millions of red blood cells race through arteries and veins like tiny delivery trucks, each one loaded with oxygen. Their destination? Every organ in your body. Your brain, your muscles, your kidneys, your liver, your skin. Everything continues operating as though nothing has happened. But deep inside your brainstem, specialized sensors are paying close attention. They constantly monitor the chemistry of your blood, every second, every minute, without your awareness. As carbon dioxide slowly rises, those sensors begin sending signals. Something is changing. 20 seconds. You still feel in control. Perhaps you've held your breath before, swimming, playing games as a child, taking a photograph underwater. Nothing feels dangerous yet, but your brain is becoming increasingly interested in one question. When are we breathing again? Not because oxygen has disappeared, because carbon dioxide keeps increasing. Think of carbon dioxide as smoke filling a room. The oxygen is still there, but the smoke tells you something is wrong. Your brain doesn't wait until oxygen completely disappears. It reacts much earlier. This early warning system is one reason humans survive so effectively. By 30 seconds, you begin noticing the urge to breathe, a slight pressure inside your chest, a feeling that's difficult to describe. Not pain, not panic, just an unmistakable awareness. Your body wants air. This sensation isn't created by empty lungs. Your lungs are still holding air. Instead, your brain is responding to changing chemistry inside your blood. It is gently asking, breathe now. Most people do, but in our experiment, you continue holding your breath. Inside your lungs, something extraordinary is still happening. Tiny air sacs called alveoli cover an enormous surface area. If they could all be spread flat, they would cover an area roughly the size of a tennis court. These microscopic structures allow oxygen to move into the blood while carbon dioxide moves out. Even though no new air is entering, the oxygen already inside your lungs continues diffusing into your bloodstream. The system remains astonishingly efficient. Every heartbeat carries another wave of oxygen away from the lungs. Meanwhile, carbon dioxide travels back toward them, waiting for an exhale that never comes. 40 seconds. The pressure grows stronger. Your diaphragm, the large muscle beneath your lungs, begins making small, involuntary contractions. It is trying to breathe, even if you refuse. This is one of the body's most powerful survival instincts. You can choose to hold your breath, but only for so long. Eventually, biology becomes stronger than willpower. The remarkable thing is that your brain isn't trying to make you uncomfortable. It's trying to keep you alive. Every unpleasant sensation has a purpose. Every signal exists for survival. Without that growing discomfort, people could unknowingly stop breathing until it was too late. Instead, the body creates urgency. It demands action. By 50 seconds, your heart rate may begin changing. Some people experience a slight increase. Others may notice it slowing under certain conditions, especially if the face is immersed in cold water. This introduces one of the most fascinating survival mechanisms in the human body, the mammalian dive reflex. When the face contacts cold water, the body can respond by slowing the heart rate and redirecting blood toward the brain and heart. This reflex exists in humans, but it is especially powerful in marine mammals like seals and dolphins. For them, it allows extraordinary underwater endurance. Humans retain only a small piece of that ancient ability. Even so, it reveals something remarkable. Your body has been preparing for oxygen emergencies for millions of years. Then comes 1 minute, 60 seconds. For many people, holding their breath this long requires determination. The urge to breathe has become intense. Your diaphragm contracts more forcefully. Your chest feels tight. Your mind becomes focused on only one thing: air. It's astonishing how quickly the brain can eliminate every distraction. Work, money, emails, social media. None of it matters anymore. There is only one priority: the next breath. And that may be the greatest lesson hidden inside this experiment. Every goal you've ever chased, every dream you've ever had, every memory you've ever made has depended on something you rarely notice. One ordinary breath. Then another. Then another. Scientists estimate that the average person breathes more than 600 million times during a lifetime. Almost every one of those breaths happens without conscious thought. Your lungs ask for no applause. Your diaphragm never takes a vacation. Your blood never complains. Together, they perform one of the greatest acts of teamwork in biology. Every second, every day, for your entire life. The strange thing is, we only notice breathing when something interrupts it. Climb a steep mountain, run as fast as you can, swim underwater, or simply hold your breath. Only then do we realize how precious every breath truly is. But after 1 minute, your body is no longer making a polite request. Carbon dioxide continues rising. The brain's warning signals become impossible to ignore. The survival instinct grows stronger with every passing second, and soon, your body will begin taking control. Because there comes a moment when holding your breath is no longer a choice. It's a battle between conscious will and millions of years of evolution. And evolution almost always wins. In the next part of our journey, we'll discover what happens when oxygen finally begins running low, how the brain protects itself, why elite freedivers can remain underwater for astonishing lengths of time, and why every breath you take may be far more extraordinary than you've ever imagined. The fight for oxygen. 1 minute has passed. Your lungs are still full. Your chest aches. Every instinct inside your body is demanding the same thing. Breathe. Not tomorrow, not in a few seconds, now. The pressure has become overwhelming. Your diaphragm contracts violently. The muscles between your ribs begin trying to expand your chest on their own. This is no longer simple discomfort. It is your body's survival system taking control. For millions of years, evolution has protected humans from one critical mistake: forgetting to breathe. Unlike blinking or swallowing, breathing can happen without conscious thought. Even when you fall asleep, your brain continues breathing for you. Even when you're unconscious, it continues. Only a small part of your mind can temporarily interrupt that process. Sooner or later, the deeper parts of the brain reclaim control, because survival has always mattered more than willpower. Now imagine that somehow you still do not breathe. The chemistry inside your blood continues changing. Carbon dioxide rises higher. The blood becomes more acidic. This change affects nearly every cell in your body. Proteins begin working less efficiently. Nerve cells become increasingly stressed. The brain realizes that the situation is becoming serious. Contrary to popular belief, the greatest danger is no longer the uncomfortable urge to breathe, it is the gradual loss of oxygen available to your organs. The brain is especially vulnerable. Although it weighs only about 3 pounds, it consumes around 20% of the body's oxygen at rest. Unlike muscles, the brain stores almost no oxygen for later use. It depends on a constant supply, every heartbeat, every second. When that supply begins to fall, the brain responds immediately. Thoughts become slower, concentration weakens, vision may begin narrowing. Some people describe hearing their heartbeat more clearly. Others notice ringing in the ears. Light may seem unusually bright. Time itself can begin feeling strangely distorted. These experiences vary from person to person, but they all reflect the same reality. The brain is trying to function with fewer resources than it was designed to have. Around 90 seconds, many people find voluntary breath holding almost impossible. The contractions of the diaphragm become stronger. The body is essentially attempting to force the next breath. Professional freedivers train for years to manage this discomfort, not by eliminating the urge to breathe, but by understanding it. They learn to remain calm, to reduce unnecessary movement, to slow their heart rate, to conserve oxygen. Most importantly, they practice in carefully controlled environments with trained safety teams, because no amount of training removes the need for oxygen. It only changes how efficiently the body uses what it has. One of the greatest freedivers in history has held a single breath for more than 20 minutes under highly specialized conditions. To most people, that sounds impossible. But those records involve careful preparation, expert supervision, and techniques that are very different from ordinary breath holding. They should never be attempted without proper training and safety support. These athletes are not escaping biology. They are working with it, making every heartbeat, every movement, every molecule of oxygen count. As oxygen availability continues to fall, the body begins making difficult decisions. Blood flow is increasingly prioritized toward organs that absolutely cannot wait. The brain, the heart, the lungs. Less essential tissues temporarily receive lower priority. This redistribution is not perfect. It is simply the best solution available during an emergency. Imagine a city experiencing a massive power shortage. Electricity is redirected to hospitals, emergency services, critical infrastructure. Streetlights may dim, decorative buildings go dark. The city sacrifices comfort to preserve life. Your body follows the same principle. Survival first, everything else later. If breathing still does not resume, the brain reaches another critical point. Neurons communicate using tiny electrical signals. Maintaining those signals requires constant energy. Without enough oxygen, the energy production begins to decline. Communication becomes increasingly unreliable. Confusion may appear. Coordination may weaken. Eventually, consciousness itself can fade. This is not the brain giving up. It is another survival strategy. If a person loses consciousness because of prolonged breath holding, voluntary control disappears. In many situations, this allows automatic breathing to resume, provided the airway is open and air is available. The body is once again trying to save itself. Nature has built multiple layers of protection. Yet, even these protections have limits. One of the most remarkable aspects of breathing is how ordinary it feels. You never celebrate your next inhale. You never count your exhalations. You don't wake each morning grateful that your diaphragm worked through the night. Because the human brain is designed to notice problems, not perfection. When everything functions normally, it quietly fades into the background. Breathing is perhaps the greatest example. It happens roughly 20,000 times each day, without applause, without effort, without conscious thought. Until it doesn't. Throughout history, people have survived astonishing situations involving low oxygen. Mountaineers climbing the world's highest peaks, pilots at extreme altitudes, divers exploring underwater caves, astronauts training inside enormous pools. Each environment teaches the same lesson. Oxygen is invisible. Yet nothing shapes human survival more completely. Interestingly, many people believe they could simply train themselves to tolerate extremely low oxygen. The truth is more complicated. Training improves efficiency, technique, calmness, confidence. It may increase how long someone can safely hold a breath under proper conditions, but it does not change the brain's fundamental need for oxygen. Biology always wins, eventually. Scientists continue studying how different species survive with limited oxygen. Sea turtles can remain underwater for hours. Certain seals dive to extraordinary depths. Some animals dramatically slow their metabolism to conserve oxygen. Humans share only a tiny fraction of these abilities. Our greatest adaptation has never been holding our breath. It has been breathing continuously. The human respiratory system evolved for endurance, not prolonged deprivation. Every breath fuels an extraordinary chain reaction. Air enters the lungs, oxygen crosses into the bloodstream. Red blood cells carry it through an immense network of vessels. Cells use it to produce energy. Carbon dioxide returns, the lungs remove it. Then the cycle begins again. Roughly every 3 to 5 seconds. From your first cry as a newborn to your final breath decades later. It is one of the longest-running processes of your life. Perhaps that is why breathing has fascinated philosophers, scientists, and spiritual traditions for thousands of years. Across cultures, breath has often symbolized life itself. The words differ, the languages change, yet the idea remains remarkably similar. To breathe is to live. The remarkable thing is that every ordinary breath is actually an extraordinary achievement. Millions of alveoli exchanging gases, billions of red blood cells transporting oxygen, a heart delivering it precisely where it is needed, a brain monitoring every change in chemistry, dozens of organs working together in perfect coordination, all so quietly that you never notice. Perhaps the greatest mystery is not how long humans can survive without breathing. Perhaps the greater mystery is how flawlessly breathing works. Every single moment, without asking for your attention. Tonight, while you sleep, your lungs will continue expanding. Your diaphragm will continue contracting. Your heart will continue delivering oxygen to every living cell. You will not give those breaths a second thought. And yet, each one will be performing the same miracle, keeping 37 trillion cells alive, one breath at a time. Because life is not measured only by the years we live, or the places we go, or the memories we create. Life is measured, breath.